My name is Joseph Darling. This is the Girls of High Value channel. Today I want to talk about understanding happiness. Happiness is, if not the most important subject on planet Earth, it is certainly one of them. When I mean happiness, I'm talking about that exquisite, amazing, blissful feeling that basically emanates from your body and inside your body because something good is going on. Happiness is the end in mind. Okay, Stephen R. Covey in the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he has a quote that says, "Begin with the end in mind." And if there is an end we desire more than anything else, it is joy and happiness. So when you start out, and people ask you, what do you want to do when you grow up? It's the wrong question. The question is, what is it that truly makes you happy? What are you passionate about? Sometimes that's a very difficult question. Nonetheless, it's a critical question for us to know about ourselves. If people ask us this question, we might not know. If we ask other people, they might not know. But we must know for ourselves. We have to work at it, finding out what is it that truly makes us happy. And I'm going to go through some of those general principles that truly deserve to be mentioned when we talk about joy and happiness, and I'm going to do so. But before I do that, I want to present to you the place where I am speaking. If you notice something, there is some wood behind me right there. And this place does not look good right now. You understand? It is what we call under construction. You gotta understand that your happiness is continuously and constantly under construction. It's a process. It's not like you're gonna be massively happy all the time right now just because. You cannot choose your happiness, especially as a woman. Let me explain that. A lot of people these days are putting in the books that you can choose how you think, you can choose how you feel, you can choose to be happy. Well, you can try all you want. But choosing to be happy is in fact almost impossible. It's a process. You're under construction. That happiness is under construction. Which means there's a series of steps, a series of principles that must be applied continuously and consistently over a long period of time until you get what I call the exponential growth of success, the exponential growth of happiness. There's a process to that. You might be happy right now, and I'm so fired up for you if you are. If you feel happy consistently on a daily basis, amazing. You're one of the few. Not everyone can consistently be happy no matter what happens in their lives. This is what we're trying to create with the Men of High Value channel, with the Girls of High Value channel. A people who are living in harmony, who have happiness and joy all of the time, with no fears and no worries. Where it's not a life of no problems. There might be big problems, but they're handled with joy and happiness, which actually is the most constructive state of mind to handle problems with. If you're depressed or having a hard time, or like the opposite, you're miserable, it's very difficult to solve problems. It's very difficult to solve issues. But if we understand that we must begin with the end in mind, which is joy and happiness. Now we just need to figure out what is it that truly gives us joy and happiness and get on that curve. Get on that path that will take us there. but you're under construction. And that's okay. And the fact of the matter that you know that you're under construction, that that happiness is under construction, and that you're on your way, as long as you understand certain principles and begin to apply them in your life, you can be happy. Because there's progression. The fact that you have belief and faith in that exponential growth curve, the fact that you have hope that things will get better. One of my quotations is, it gets worse before it gets better. Knowing the fact that it gets worse before it gets better increases the likelihood that you're going to be happy on the journey, even when it gets worse. Okay, but again, this is not something that you naturally choose on a daily basis. You have to be consistently applying the principles of happiness and having the faith and belief that someone will come along and sweep you off your feet, the right guy, a man of high value. It certainly will boost your happiness along the way. So let's get into the principles of happiness and joy. This is my favorite topic, okay? I have a lot of favorites. Connection. This is what brings joy and happiness. Connection with what? Connection with people. You understand that if there's two people here, they have the opportunity for connection. And I'm not talking about, sexual connection. I'm talking about a connection between two people. It can be two women, it can be two men, it can be the opposite gender, it doesn't matter. Whatever creates a connection between them is when there is acceptance. It's the opposite of rejection. You don't want to reject people. Now you might reject what they do, but you accept them for who they are. You accept them for where they're at. My wife and I always talk about the concept of meeting people where they're at. Stop trying to explain something over here. Stop trying to explain something that they just don't understand and don't want to hear about. You gotta meet them where they're at. Where are they at? Which means that there's no use talking to people all the time without listening, without understanding where they are. Which is kind of an oxymoron, I know, because I'm YouTube and I'm telling you guys all the time, every single day, about concepts like this that you might not be ready to apply it. But, no one is talking to me, other than a few comments. Thank you, Nadia. And everyone who's commenting on my channel, you guys are doing a fantastic job because it helps me to understand where you guys are at. It creates a connection. When I just talk to the camera, I'm sending out requests. I'm trying to connect with you and help you to feel accepted, help you to feel loved, so that we can be able to connect in such a way that we can help each other progress on our journey. I want to help you progress on your journey to joy and happiness. The way you help me on my journey to true joy and happiness is by connecting, by commenting, liking, and subscribing, of course, but also by telling me how these things are actually helping you in your life, and if they're not helping, by correcting me and telling me what I should be talking about. What are you thinking about? What are you struggling with? What do you want to understand more about? And if you feel you don't want to comment down below because it might be personal or sensitive or whatever, then write to me on my Skype, joseph.darling21. I'm there, joseph.darling21. And you can write me, and we can connect there so I can help you, and you can help me by sharing your story. It's a case study. This is what my research is based upon. Thousands of case studies, because I'm a curious person. I just want to know. I want to know everything about people, because the more I understand the individual lives of people, the better I can explain the concepts of joy and happiness and the process from where they're at towards getting to that exponential growth curve. Okay, so if we know that connection is the key to human joy and happiness, there's three aspects that I've basically, came at the top of my mind here. And those three are acceptance, agreement, and understanding. It's pretty much the same thing. But when we talk to people, very often we forget that point. Girls are really good at it though, but they're also good at the rejection part. The better you get at accepting, understanding, and agreeing with people, meeting them where they're at, the better you will be at connecting with people. And when you connect with people, guess what's going to happen? When you reach out, this is how you reach out, by agreeing, accepting, and understanding them. Once you do that, they connect with you back. If you've noticed, when you smile to someone, what happens? They smile back at you. Very often, 80% of the time. If you're interested in people and ask them questions about them, guess what? They're going to be curious about you and ask you questions. Boom! Suddenly there's a connection. When we make other people feel important, they make us feel important. And that's what we want to feel. We want to feel important. We want to feel significant. And guess what just happened? We increased our joy and happiness in our exponential growth curve. Amazing. This is how it works. Once you understand this concept of connection, you also realize that the more good you do to other people, if you bless the lives of 100, if you bless the lives of 1,000, if you bless the lives of 10,000s, 100,000s of people, guess what? They will bless your life back. When you do good to others, it comes back to you thousandfold because there's a ripple effect from the thing that you created. This is what's amazing. There's three aspects of, or three categories of people. I'm just gonna put them in booths right now. You've got casual acquaintances. You've got friends with benefits. Again, I'm not talking about sexual things, okay? And deep connections, okay? Like deep connections in terms of trust. Those three, let's look at it. Casual acquaintances. This is basically your opportunity to learn. Casual acquaintances is people that you just meet. That could be strangers. It could be people you have on your phone but you never talk to except for once in a while. It could be people you see on your Facebook page, whatever. All of these people, I put them in the booth of learn from. If you are on a course of constant and never-ending improvement, which we basically all should be on, then we should use everyone around us as an opportunity to learn. The more we learn, the more fascinating the world becomes. You know, the deeper you get on a subject, no matter what that subject is, you begin to appreciate it. Like me, for example, I hate art, okay? But if I invested time to understand and to dig deeper into to art and really see the significance, eventually I would love art. Do you understand? And that's how it is with all people. The more you dislike something or hate something, it's not a problem, because if you actually dig deep to understand it and accept it and agree with it, I'm not saying that you should agree with everything that's out there, because you shouldn't, right? There's some things that literally are wrong. But you can accept and agree with who they are as people. Understand that they are where they're at for a reason, and it's not you that they're rejecting. And that you just, I know it's difficult to initiate, and of course, sometimes you just need to back off and just relax, right? This is why I talk about femininity so much, because femininity gives you capacity. What is femininity? Is to let things go and to take off one's responsibilities. The more you unload yourself of responsibilities, especially financial and studying, like studying in school for like specific specialization, waste of time. The moment you understand that the financials I don't need, I know that if I do these things, if I focus on connection, if I focus on humans, if I focus on happiness and understand this whole process, I know I will be happy. I don't need the specialization. I don't need to think about my financials. That's not what's going to make me happy. You know why that's not going to make you happy? It's because it's an opportunity cost. Opportunity cost means that because you're investing all your time and attention and focus on making money and financials and making sure that we don't spend too much money and studying and basically spending years and years and years on end trying to make money. It's a waste of flipping time. When there are guys out there, men of high value, who are able to make 100 times more than you or 1,000 times more than you if they're motivated to do so. And to basically jump on their bandwagon and hang along for the ride will actually increase the probability of your true joy and happiness, because you can, instead of focusing on that, focus on this: human connection and happiness. Agreeing, understanding, and accepting instead of being rejected all day. This is what business owners and salespeople are doing all day long, including women. I don't understand why they would want to go through that. Because the more you are rejected, guess what you're going to give back? Rejection. Which is going to make it so that you don't have the human connection anymore. And you don't want the human connection anymore. And you're going to start looking at the world as a dark and dreary place, when it's actually a fantastic, good, and amazing place. But you can't see it because you don't have capacity to see it. This is one of the big reasons why you should give up the world and allow your man to take care of that stuff, so that you can focus on the emotion of living, of life. Okay, let's move on. That was casual acquaintances is basically your opportunity to learn. The next one is friends with benefits. Friends with benefits is basically close friends that you spend a lot more time with than the casual acquaintances, obviously. And these are people that you take action with or take action for. This is your service. You know that these are true friends because they'll take care of you when you take care of them. With casual acquaintances, there's not that much trust there. With friends with benefits, there's a lot more trust going on, and therefore a bigger connection, a deeper connection. You know that if you take care of them, they'll take care of you. Sometimes it's family, sometimes you take care of them and you don't expect them to take care of you back. That's fine, but I would recommend cutting down a little less time on those that are not willing to invest back in you. Because human connection goes both ways. It goes, you invest in me, I invest in you, and because we invest in each other, there's a synergy that actually increases both of our positive emotions and happiness. That's what's amazing with human connection, is that you have two people working together and moving each other upwards. The last one, I'm going to finish up within an hour, within a minute. It's the deepest connection. This is where true joy and happiness is felt, and this is very often your sexual relationship, your long-term committed partner, not the casual acquaintance or your friends with benefits, but your deep long-term committed partner that actually lasts long in bed, and he has power to give you the things that you need and want at all times and all places. He spoils you, and for good reasons, so that you can truly be joyful and happy, because you know that when you're spoiled, you run towards responsibility and you start doing that which is right and good and beautiful and awesome. Okay? That's the deepest connection. And then you have your kids, and then you hopefully have your parents, and then you hopefully have some really, really close friends that you would live and die for. Okay? That you literally could not imagine your life without them. Those are the ones that will produce the most happiness in your life, because it simply just works. My definition for truth: that which works in the long run and in the big scheme of things. And if you have people in your life who are like that, they just work. When you're with them, everything just works. It's just amazing. They're so positive. They're excited about life. Find those people. They're out there. And never give up on that. Because when you found them, you're set for life. You only need a few friends in this lifetime. Of course, it's better with many friends, but the more friends you have, the more they become friends with benefits and casual acquaintances. Instead of having a few, maybe 10 or 20, or maybe even less, the inner circle of people where you just connect so deeply. And that one guy, the right guy, where you connect on so many different levels, you're basically living in bliss at all times with that person. It is possible. The only problem is that we very often don't know how to create these connections, but it's teachable. Not only this, but the man of high value that I want to help you find, he just works. That's really the key to all of this. I can promise you, without the right guy, it is very difficult to get on the exponential growth curve of joy and happiness as a woman. I would say also as men, because women need men and men need women. We were placed on this earth because we were supposed to have joy and happiness. And we cannot have a fullness of joy and happiness without men and women coming together. I will say man and woman, right? Coming together and creating children and furthering the generational process of creating more joy and happiness. I can promise you that the greatest source of joy and happiness comes from you being an example for kids and then seeing those kids apply who you are. Because when they see that you have tons of joy and happiness all of the time, no fears and no worries, we're gonna get there. I know, because there are certain principles, you apply them, it's gonna happen. I know because I've been there. I know how to produce joy and happiness, and I have it, pretty much all the time. If I'm not happy, it's because I'm down here instead of down here. Do you understand what I mean? Like, a lot of people are down like this, or rather like this. I'm up here very often because I'm applying the principles of truth and I'm sharing them with other people and connecting with people on a daily basis because I love people. My goal is to help you to love people as well. You probably already do, but the more masculine you are as a woman, the less likely you are to trust other people. The more feminine you are, the more unburdened you are, the more you see the possibilities and the more trust you will actually be able to give to other people, which means that they're going to trust you back, which means that there's going to be a connection, which means that you're going to accept and agree and understand each other where you're at, and then you're going to move together towards joy and happiness. This is what life is about, guys, and I truly, truly hope that you got the essence of this message. Make sure you find a guy, the right guy, that simply works. The right guy equals truth. Definition of truth: that which works in the long run and in the big scheme of things. Trusting that guy, man, it is difficult for women to find that guy, and that's why we're here. This is the Girls of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you again in the next video.